What's up, y'all? I gotta get this off my chest real quick. Today we keeping it all the way real on a certain stigma that society likes to, what do we say? We'll just say crap on. Today we're debunking the stigma that follows stay-at-home dads. But first, in case this is the first time you're on my channel, I'm Rome, I'm a caregiver, I'm a dad, and I'm officially a stay-at-home dad now. I used to work in tech. I was a social media manager for one of the top 100 tech companies here in the Seattle area, got laid off, and now I'm embarking on the journey of stay-at-home dad. So there's a lot of life changes, and now I need to make sure that I'm there for my kids. But that's not why you're here. You're here because I'm keeping it real, like I said, about debunking the stigma of stay-at-home dads. First off, I really wanted to know why there's even a stigma around stay-at-home dads. And I really think it has to do with society and society's stigma of masculinity versus femininity. It doesn't take a lot to go back and grab a history book to understand and learn that traditionally, women stay home with the kids, men go out and work. Now, before you say anything, and before you get the wrong idea, like I said, it doesn't have to be that way. Because also there's a whole other stigma. There's a whole other stigma right now going around on social media about demasculization of men, which again is some BS. Now let's just talk about this case right now. Our case. My wife has a job, extremely flexible. She was not the breadwinner. I was. Like I mentioned, I got laid off. But my job, stressful, a lot of meetings, not a lot of time, especially with the schedule we had and all the amount of caregiving we had to do. It was easier for me to really lose my job than it is for her to lose hers, especially with everything tied up in insurance. So now let's talk about this thing around capabilities. As a man, am I capable to go get a job? Yes. Am I capable to provide? Yes. Does it work better for my household to be home? Yes. Will I still take on some of the untraditional gender roles that men do? Cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids? Yes, yes, yes. Because again, when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter what society says or society thinks. That's what works for us and our family. So that's what I'm going to do. And if you out there are a stay-at-home dad, I'd suggest everything that's happening over there with all of those stigmas, nip them right in the bud, because you have to do what's best for you and your family. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. But here's the other thing, because I know there's this thought that men are probably over here wearing an apron, wearing a bonnet, chilling around the house, when really it's not like that. Now, I haven't been a stay-at-home dad for long, but let me kind of take you through my day as a stay-at-home parent. First, when I'm waking up, when my wife's getting ready for work, I'm taking care of our newborn son. Now, for those of you who are new to this channel, my daughter Caliyah has nursing support because she breathes with a tracheostomy tube. So typically on a given day, Caliyah is with her nurse. Although my wife and I do help out quite a bit, she's still under the care of her nurse. So I'm essentially caring for a newborn all day. And my newborn is still learning to communicate. He's still learning to bottle feed. He's still learning to process his emotions. And so between doing stuff around the house, between running errands, between seeing about our daughter and making sure everything is good, and now taking care of this newborn, my whole entire day is just filled up. So when does that leave time for you? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's the $1,000,000 question. When does it leave time for the dad? But as you see, I'm recording this video today, so I was able to find a little bit of time for myself. So because there was that stereotype of being capable, I'm capable of doing all the things, which is why I am at home with my kids. I am taking my daughter to speech therapy. I am taking my daughter to her appointments. I am seeing about my son. Now that sounds pretty capable to you, don't it? And you see you don't have to be a woman to do any of that. But again, it's both a privilege and a journey to stay at home. I haven't had the Sunday scaries anymore, which is something I got every single Sunday night to try to plan the week. Because again, when you're a caregiver and you have a medical daughter and you have medical complications yourself, there's no telling when something can go from great to, oh shit. But the one thing I do get the privilege of, building a great bond with my kids because I'm home, because they see me, because I'm the go-to person for them. I'm able to go sit with my daughter during some of her therapies. I'm able to drive her there. I'm able to participate with it. I'm able to bring my son and engage with him and interact with him all day. I'm able to listen to my favorite podcasts. Shout out to Joe. And I'm able to be fully involved in all of the educational stuff. Now my daughter's in preschool and school is about to start back up. I am fully involved with helping her get to the next level and helping her combat some of those delays that she has. Again, all privilege. Not everybody gets to do that. And traditionally, that's the mom's role. Traditionally. But again, like I mentioned before, and I'm going to keep hitting the nail on the head, if there's one thing about my family, we are not traditional. We are untraditional. And it's going to stay like that. There's hardly anything that we do traditionally. And also, too, because I know there's going to be someone in the comments that's hating who say the men should go to work and it's not masculine to be home. I hope it doesn't come to this, but I'm still getting money. I'm just not going to a 9-to-5. Many other dads out there who are stay-at-home dads are still getting money. They're just not going to a 9-to-5. So before you judge that book by its cover, make sure you do a little research, or actually don't do a research. Just shut the fuck up. That's it. But again, to sum up this rant, my fellow stay-at-home dads, we play an essential role in our children's development, our children's education, our children's safety, our children's well-being. The moms do too. And not only do I get to be involved in anything, I get to spend so much time with my kids, like actually playing with them and creating memories that they'll never forget. I dance with my daughter every single day. Sometimes I'm on her level, so I'll get on my knees and then we kind of dance. Or I'm standing up and we're dancing and she's having the time of her life. She's laughing. She's cracking up. And again, what's crazy is it's crazy to think that there's a gender association for keeping the house clean, for getting groceries. Like, what the is society really doing? Like, come on now. Things are changing so much. Pandemic changed a lot. Unfortunately, people lost their jobs like myself, so I feel you on that. But again, we're just out here doing what we got to do to survive. And let me not talk about the cost of daycare. If we were both working and we had to send 2 kids to daycare, a newborn and a 3-year-old, like, bruh, can you imagine how much, when we were getting, let me take one step back. When we were getting quotes, when my daughter Caliyah was born, before we knew she had any medical complications, it was going to be like $2,500 a month. That was then, just for her. Then you got 2 kids now, and she has those medical complications and would need to bring a nurse. And so easily we're looking at over $5,000 a month. And so when it comes down to it, yeah, both of us working, of course, like, have the money to cover that, but then it comes down to a convenience thing with all the appointments and everything else. Like, we couldn't support them like they needed. We couldn't support our kids like they needed to be supported. So I'm going to end this rant, but I'm going to sum it up by saying this. We're debunking this outdated stigma of stay-at-home dads, and even what I didn't speak on is a whole other video, is how much respect stay-at-home moms need. Because now seeing it, they hold it down, and I'm just trying to do my part to hold it down as well. So my stay-at-home dads, it's time to celebrate. If you're a stay-at-home dad right now, or you're potentially going to be in the future, it's time to celebrate. Don't worry about what you read online. Don't worry about what they say on social media. Focus on what your household needs and what your family needs. Because it's not a role. It's not a role, fam. It's a lifestyle. So if y'all want to hear more real and raw rants on parenthood, fatherhood, all them, make sure you hit that subscribe. Info's in the description. Follow me all over social. Follow our vlogs so you can actually see what we're doing and keep tapping in with me. If you're new to my channel, you're going to get all the fatherhood content. You're going to get some family vlogs. You're going to see what we're up to. You're going to see some dads after dark, a few dads just talking, a few dads talking about fatherhood when kids go to bed. So make sure you tap in.